I know you wrote an article about this. Linebacking room. What do you think of it? When you look at the Browns linebacking room, what do you see?
Yeah, so over at cleveland.com, we're kind of analyzing position group by position group right now and figuring out which guys are core players in each of these position groups. And for the linebackers, I think there's only one guy that you can consider a core player. We said we were going to be really tough graders on it. We defined core player as a guy you expect to be a key contributor for this team over the next 3 to 5 years. And I think that's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And then after that, you kind of have a bunch of question marks, in large part due to injuries, in large part because I think your next two best guys, and Anthony Walker Jr. and Sione Takitaki, are both going to be free agents. So I think it depends on, are the Browns going to be able to bring back one or both of those guys who each suffered season-ending injuries at different points of the year? And when they come back, are they going to be able to make the same kind of impact physically? Another guy I'm kind of curious about, in those, I lump those two together as bubble guys, along with Tony Fields, because of his special teams role. He kind of stepped up for them when those injuries started to pile up in that room. And Jacob Phillips, who sadly, the story of his career has been injury after injury. He suffered key injuries in each of his first 3 seasons in the NFL. Of course, tore a pectoral muscle this year. But I think for him, the question is going to be, is he ever going to be able to stay healthy for them to really start developing and making an impact? Because he struggled against the run this year after Anthony Walker Jr. went down. And then you have the other guys, I kind of call them, your Deion Jones, who's going to be a free agent, who did get 2.5 sacks, but didn't really perform in run defense very well. You have Jordan Kanasic, who was a special teams guy. They kind of praised him for taking over a bigger role, but again, is going to be hitting free agency. And then Reggie Ragland, who was, I think, an underrated midseason pickup. He was the biggest guy they had in that linebacker room at 252. I know Jim Schwartz said size isn't the only thing in determining the physicality of a linebacker, but you saw physicality from him, and he could be a veteran presence. So I think this room is all about building around JOK and kind of putting things together around him and cobbling things together and seeing financially what you can get done. But I think the next two guys up to, see if they could impact this room and become those quote unquote core players would be Takitaki or Walker.